It's a pleasure to welcome you to my 8th annual Standing on the Shoulders of Giants Black History Month celebration to honor African Americans who throughout our history have called upon our nation to live up to its highest ideals. Together we pay tribute to a people whose struggle for freedom made our country more free, whose drive for justice made our laws more just, and whose march for equality made us all more equal. That's why I call this event Standing on the Shoulders of Giants, because I know that my story, the son of refugees who grew up poor in a tenement in Union City and went to become one of 100 United States senators in a country of 320 million people, that would not have happened without the African American civil rights leaders who came before me and paved ways and made it possible for someone like me to be in the United States Senate. They are the giants who beckoned America to live up to its founding promise that we are truly all created equal, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, and that among these are life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. This is the promise that was cruelly denied to generations of African Americans who were sold into slavery and torn from their families, brutally beaten and barred from the ballot box, denied equal rights and equal opportunity. And yet, throughout our history, despite of all of the hatred and hardship and heartbreak, African Americans never stopped believing that the promise of this country was their promise too, that the American dream was their dream too, that those rights to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness were their rights too. That's why we still draw strength from the soaring words of Dr. Martin Luther King, the courage of Harriet Tubman, and the bravery of heroes like our colleague, Congressman John Lewis. We're still inspired by founding faith leaders like Absalom Jones and Locke Carey. We're still moved by writers like Langston Hughes and Maya Angelou and the groundbreaking music of Louis Armstrong. I see fields of blue, red roses too. But I can't compete with the choir, so. And our SVP, Aretha Franklin, may she rest in peace. We still admire the athletic prowess of athletes like Jackie Robinson, Jesse Owens, and Larry Doby. It was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who once said, "The day we see the truth and cease to speak is the day we begin to die." My friends, we must never allow our vision of a free and just America to die beneath a mountain of lies. So when this president spouts alternative facts, we must be voices for truth. When he divides us by race or religion, we must unite people of all faiths to defend our freedom. When he tears families apart, we must answer hate with love for our neighbors. And when he suppresses voting rights, attacks the free press, or undermines the rule of law, we must defend our democracy and reach for the ballot box like never before. Because while we made tremendous progress in 2018, the work of building a more inclusive economy, a more welcoming nation, a more just society, a more perfect union is unending and ongoing. So let me close by quoting again the great Dr. King. "There is no noise as powerful as the sound of the marching feet of a determined people." Ladies and gentlemen, we must be those determined people.
We can't be silent now. We can't stand on the sideline. We got to get engaged. We got to be involved. As we gather here today and celebrate Black history, we remember those whose shoulders we stand on. And we take some time to reflect. We can never forget how indebted we are for those ancestors and those among us today who are engaged in the struggle. Many of us are who we are because of them. When we think about them, we remember that they were the ones who went through the struggle. They were the ones who had to leap over walls. They were the ones that went through dark places. They were the ones who had to struggle. They were the ones, even right now, that we lift up and we celebrate like a man. We Am I right about it? They were the ones, God of our weary years, God of our silent days. Thou who hast brought us thus far along the way. Thou who hast bowed our mind. Let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path, we pray. And you got to know that if you ever go among to something, you got to go through something. You got to deal with some struggle. You got to deal with some pain. You got to deal with. You got to understand, when was the oak tree ever made without storms? When was the tone of a violin ever sweet until you had a string that was pressed?
And so we celebrate this month, standing on the shoulders of giants. Now I want to talk to you just a little bit today about two of those giants. Frederick Douglass, that you have heard so much about, and a man named Robert Smalls. Now, a lot of you may not have ever heard of Robert Smalls. That's because of some problems we have with getting the history books right. But I particularly like Robert Smalls because I represent many of the communities that he once represented. You see, Robert Smalls was born a slave. Frederick Douglass was born a slave. Frederick Douglass escaped from slavery in 1838. Robert Smalls escaped in 1861, 62. And when Robert Smalls escaped from slavery, he didn't bother about coming north and staying, though no one would have faulted him if he had. But in August of 1862, about 4 or 5 months after he escaped from slavery, he sought and received an audience with President Abraham Lincoln. And in that meeting with him was one Frederick Douglass. The two of them thought that they were something more than property. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Harriet Tubman once said, I freed over 1,000 slaves, but it would have been 2,000 if they had known they were slaves. Standing on the shoulders of giants.